Can someone please help me make sense of this? I've been receiving food stamps for the last 7 years, consistently. I just received a letter in the mail telling me that I now have to do community service hours at least 15 hours a week. I have to take out of my time, things that I do every day, to do community service so that I can still continue to receive the benefits that I receive. Mind you, I am receiving the maximum benefit. I get $2,000 in food stamps a month. But that is only because I have 3 kids. Now, how do they expect me to be able to do community service hours if I can't even get a regular job? So I'm at risk of losing my food stamp benefits because I'm not putting in effort? Are you serious? I've been receiving food stamps for the last 7 years.
Sure thing. I can help you out with that. No more free lunch.
Service hours? At least 15 hours a week.
So you had 7 years to get a job and you haven't? That's bullshit. And you're complaining about 15 hours a week? That's not even a part-time. Go get a full-time job. Stop bitching.
I've been receiving food stamps for the last 7 years.
So the answer to your question is, yeah, you should have to do some sort of community service or pay some sort of debt to society if you've been collecting food stamps for 7 years. The whole system is designed to help people in need, not fund your food for the rest of your life. And you're not alone in the world. There's a lot of people out there that think the government should pay for them and their children to live. And it's simply not the case. You just happen to live in the most prosperous nation on the planet. So, yeah, keep crying because they should take more of it from you.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Profess. Thanks again for tuning in. All right, this Caucasian woman is actually complaining for, getting cut off of her food stamps and SNAP benefits after receiving $2,000 monthly, 7 years of benefits. Can you believe that? This is crazy, especially because she just got cut off and told to do community service, so actually to reapply for getting food stamps, benefits and SNAP benefits, and she doesn't want to do that. That is the least you can do, because if you are being fair enough, you have 2 working legs and arms. Food stamps should only be for the disabled and also the elderly, because you can work. I don't know about you guys, but I think she actually has 2 good working hands and legs, so she can go ahead and work. She can DoorDash, she can Uber Eats, she can do a lot of things. She can dog walk, she can babysit, and there is a lot of things that she can do, but she doesn't want to work. And this is exactly why people have been angry about food stamp fraud, especially those who go ahead and claim that it's only melanated people who are finessing the system and benefiting illegally from these benefits. But we can clearly see that no, it is not only melanated people. In fact, a lot of Caucasian people are on SNAP benefits and food stamps. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's episode. Let's take a look at these videos that are compiled for you. I'll be back with more commentary after this.
Can someone please help me make sense of this?
It's really too early for this shit, but I'm going to do this anyway. So for context, she said that she received a letter from the food stamp office and that she now has to do 15 hours of community service to receive her $2,000 a month food stamp benefits that she's been receiving for 7 years. 7 years. And then she says, I have 3 kids, and if I can't get a regular job, how do you expect me to do 15 hours of community service? It's always the ones saying, I have too many kids. I can't do that. I can't get a job because I have kids. Let me tell you something. When I was 24 and freshly divorced with a 7-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old, I left my home in California and moved 3,000 miles away because that was the farthest I could get away from him. Okay, so I get to New York. Yeah, talk about a fucking culture shock. With 3 kids. I did it on my own. Did I use food stamps? Yeah, I had them for a year and a half. Yeah, while I went to college. While I was taking care of 3 kids. While I was working a job. While I was going to school. Once I graduated and got my first medical degree, my first, got 4, I got off of food stamps because I was making good money. So I used it as a stepping stone during my trials and tribulations of moving 3,000 miles away to a new city and finding a place to live and getting a job and enrolling in school and finding daycare. Yeah, it's fucking hard. I did it. It can be done. It's people like you riding the system for years and years and years, and $2,000. Fuck, back in the 90s when I used it, I only received $480. That's what I had to get through a whole month. Yeah, listen, this is why we're okay with this. So get off your ass, go do your 15 hours of community fucking service. So if you want said food stamps, because we don't give a shit. I especially don't give a shit. You got 3 kids? I had 3 kids. I was 24 in a brand new city. Didn't know a damn soul, but I did it. And people like you piss me off. Excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. I haven't even brushed my fucking hair yet before I got in here to talk to your dumb ass. Looking for sympathy. I have no sympathy for you. You're a lifer. That's what you want. You want somebody to pay for you and your kids forever. And that's not going to happen anymore. Because we're sick of it. I used the system correctly for a year and a half. Have no problem saying I used the system. They gave me Medicaid and food stamps. I didn't receive anything else because by the time I applied for that, I had a job. Yeah, it was a shitty job, but I was going to school. So I was bettering myself. You're just sitting there collecting a damn check. Get off your ass and do the fucking community service if you want your food stamps. If not, don't come on here crying, because we're deaf right now. $2,000 in food stamps and you can't get off your ass for 15 hours. The liberal idiocy knows no bounds. Take. That's all you guys know. That system is not there for you to be on it for 7 years. God bless you, darling. Bless your little heart.
Can someone please help me make sense of this? I've been...
Okay. Come have a seat. First, let's address something. You can work. Women with children, single mothers do work. You're talking about food stamps. I find it hard to believe you're getting that much food stamps. Then you're complaining because you got to do community service. Good. You realize taxpayers are paying for that food. They pay taxes for food and you're reaping the benefit. Food stamp was designed to help. Not to freeload. And you're going to gripe about a lousy 15 hours of community work. Or you don't get your food stamps. Too bad. Too bad. So if you want the food stamps, go do the work.
Can someone please help me make sense of this? I'm
going to answer the question, even though I don't think that what I have to say may necessarily be something that you want to hear, but since you asked a generic question, I'm going to give you a factual answer. The number one reason why this is happening is because our birth rate has gone down. Most people do not understand or don't know that food stamps and Medicaid or any kind of health insurance that you get for the government for your children or even yourself comes through the taxpayer dollars. As the birth rate plummets, means that there is less people to put back into the pot so that there is enough tax money to help people out, right? Also, that budget doesn't just necessarily go to moms in need with children. It also goes to our vets that need it, to our elderly that qualify for it, and it also goes to people that are medically disabled and they can't literally work, so they need the food stamps. So it's not just single moms with children that get this. And being that there is people on the system that do not work, this is the minimum that you can do. Put community hours back into the community. So you may look at it as working for free, but it's just another way to put back into the pot. They're trying to save money wherever they can in order to continue to give what they give. And yes, this is a new rule. Either you are actively working or you are in some type of work first program that will allow you to do your 15 hours that way, or you have to give the community service. Those are the new rules. And if you don't follow them, then yes, they will cut you off. They don't, that whole thing of I can't work, blah, blah, that doesn't, it's not a thing, unfortunately, and this is where we are. And again, more of the birth rate goes down, and then there's less people, and also we're entering a stage where we're getting the next wave of people to retire. So those people will also be asking for food stamps. Because I'm gonna tell you something, personally, I'm 35 and I looked at my retirement. I have been working since I was 15, and I looked at my Social Security, and if I decide right now at this age to go and retire, I can't, first of all, but if I wait until I'm 65, I would get just a little bit over $1,000 a month. Disgusting. And if I was to wait until I was 70, I would get roughly almost $1,500 a month. Still disgusting when you take into consideration how much rent costs. Nobody that retires with that kind of income will be able to afford a roof over their head and food. So this is a big issue. It's not just a right now issue. It's a long-term issue, and solutions will be made. And for those that are not putting back into the pot, this is how they're going to wean them out. I hope that you don't fall into that group. I understand that it's hard. I have 2 kids of my own. And it is expensive for childcare, but I know that there's programs in each state that also helps with childcare. So there's like, if you're actively doing and trying to do something to better yourself, they'll leave you on food stamps. But if you're not doing anything to change your circumstances that you've been in for the last 7 years, it's gonna bite you in the butt. You still have time to do something about it, but coming on here to complain about it is not gonna change our government's mind. None whatsoever. Like, none whatsoever. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to complain. I'm just saying these are the facts and this is how we got here.
Can someone please help me make sense of this?
Okay, so I can help you make sense of it. So within the letter, I'm sure it told you where you need to report to, either social services, but some states have places called career team where that can be considered. It helps you get job ready, and that can be considered community service hours. Or they provide you the approved locations that social services only approves for you to do social services at. So that would be like community centers and nonprofit organizations, stuff like that. And how these places help you is that they provide you with daycare vouchers and they provide you with gas cards if you have a car, and if you don't have a car, they provide you with a weekly bus card so that you can get on the bus and do these things. So that is how, and that's what's happening right now. So you could either try to find a job, which you said you can't find a job, right? Then the only option is to work for free to continue receiving your benefits.
Alright guys, there you have it. Actually, she's been getting SNAP benefits, food stamp benefits for over 7 years with 3 kids, and she doesn't like it when they send her a letter for her to do community work, for her to actually qualify now. She doesn't like that. But we have to bust this myth, man, because there is a myth going on that food stamps are just for lazy people, mostly black folks gaming the system. But that's not true, because according to the USDA, white Americans make up to about 35 to 37% of SNAP benefits and food stamps, participants, while black Americans make around 26%. That actually shows that it's not only majority of black folks who are benefiting from food stamps or trying to finesse food stamps and all of that sort, as a lot of people might actually think. I don't know if you've heard, but there is a report that over 2 million Americans have been cut from food stamps benefits because of food stamp fraud and the government actually trying to cut on government spending and wastage. And a lot of people are angry, man. They have been waking up, getting a notification on their apps that they no longer qualify. They need to actually reapply and they need to work some kind of a job, and all this because of the big beautiful bill. How is that getting you, MAGA? Is America becoming the great America that you actually voted for? Or is your life, or are your lives actually getting in shambles? Because in reality, we all know that a lot of Caucasian people in red states, poor red states, actually benefit from these welfare programs, especially SNAP benefits and food stamps. Yet they want to portray it as if it's melanated people who only benefit from this, or it's only melanated people who are trying to finesse the government and game the system. Yet we can see Caucasian people like this woman who actually have been gaming the system for over 7 years. Man, I don't even think that a melanated person can actually game the system for that long. It is not possible, man. It is not possible. Yeah, they will actually bust you out. But for the Caucasian woman, they will actually become lenient with you, allow you to keep on benefiting from this. Yet you have 2 working hands and 2 working feet. And a lot of people have been actually angry about this, because this is taxpayers' money that people are using and getting nothing in welfare. They don't even get simple things as Medicaid and Medicare or insurance cover for their hospital bills, but you guys keep on benefiting, finessing the government and using taxpayers' money, for you not actually to work. And that's exactly why people are angry with that, and why they're celebrating, people being cut off from these food stamps and benefits. Yeah, there is no longer free lunch. There is no more free lunch. You have to do something. You have to work some kind of a job. You have to do some kind of a community work to actually get these food stamps. And I think it's fair enough. It's fair enough. If you are a new mother with an infant of 1 year old, I guess the least you can do, to use other people's taxpayers' money to bail yourself out for some couple of years as your kid is growing up, is to do some community service. I don't know, man. You let me know, but I think that's fair enough. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about today's episode? I'm a presenter, Profess. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, hit that like button. See you on the next episode.